Gambia, good afternoon. It is another interesting episode that today we're going to bring for you. It is a youth hour that comes on your way every Monday by 4 p.m. Like we always do, bring for you youth from different parts of the Gambia. Come here with us on Vision TV to discuss issues connecting their way of life. Today, I have very important guests from a foundation called Jama Children Foundation. Jama Children Foundation is part of those foundations in the Gambia that is giving a helping hand to children's both the urban area, but most particularly in the rural areas, where I can say that is where most of their focus is relying on. But today, before going deep into the program, I have on my right hand side a very young man who is Haruna Sinyang. Haruna Sinyang, he is the president of the foundation. On my left hand side, I have Madam, how would I say it, Madam, right? Madam Fadu F. Njai, who is the vice president of the foundation. But then before going to more to the program, I'll just allow Mr. Sinyang to go and tell us more about who is it and what he is. And then from there, I can jump myself and move to my left hand side to hear from my lady Asha. Mr. Sinyang, you are most welcome.
I can still go?
Yes, you are most welcome to Vision TV.
Okay, thank you so much, KUYATEH. It is a pleasure to also honor your invitation, and it is also a pleasure to be here. My name is Haruna Sinyang. As he rightly said, I'm the president for Jama Children Foundation, and Jama Children Foundation as it addressed in Nemakunku, West Coast region of the Gambia. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Haruna Sinyang, for coming to this program. On my left hand side, Madam, you can introduce yourself to the Gambians.
Good day, everyone. As he rightly mentioned, my name is Ms. Fatu F. Njai. I am also residing in Nemakunku, and I am the Vice President of Jama Children Foundation. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to receive you here. On behalf of the entire Vision TV, most particularly the youth hour. Okay, Mr. Sinyang, like I spoke to you, okay, the purpose of the program today is going to be centered on your foundation. Sure. How did the foundation came about and the help that you are giving to the rural youth? The first thing that I want, question that I want to ask, you can tell the viewers, where did this initiative came about?
Yeah, thank you so much again, KUYATEH. I think actually it is something that those that are currently watching Vision TV should know about Jama Children Foundation. Yeah, to briefly talk about Jama Children Foundation, when it started and how it started. This foundation was established in 2019 when we initially named it Dauda Kairaba Jama Children Foundation. That was the first name given to this foundation, and the purpose for that name was because we realized that the former president was somebody who contributed significantly in the history of Gambia and just passed away. So, and for us to also tell the future generation who he was, we decided to name this foundation Dauda Kairaba Jawara Children Foundation. But because we actually wanted to register the foundation, and you cannot register in someone's name without seeking a consent from the family. Exactly. We made various attempts. We called the first son who was in Guinea-Bissau. We briefed him about the foundation, and he promised to get back to us. But because it was taking longer, we couldn't hear from him again. So we decided to change the name of the foundation to Jama Children Foundation, because Jama means peace. So actually, now to come to the reason for establishing this foundation is that because we realize that now there are certain changes in the behaviors of children in the society, and there are certain norms and values, cultures that they ignore in the Gambia. And these norms and values and cultures didn't just happen like that. There is a reason. So we decided to actually come up with the initiative to support children, to remind them of these significant name, norms and values and culture, to show them the way, why they need to have respect, what are some of the behaviors that are in line with the government's culture and values. So not only that, but also we realize that to do that, we must offer them what we call mentorship program. We mentor them based on those norms and values and culture, and based on what we think every child should practice or should behave. So these are some of the objectives, and not only that, we also want to give them support, because we realize that there are vulnerable children in the society that their parent could not provide their basic needs. So we also want to support them. So there are other objectives, but all of these objectives gears towards protecting the children.
Yes, was protecting the children. Thank you very much, Mr. Sinyang, for putting more insights, everybody's on that area. This is what we expect when we have visitors, guests in the city. This is what we want them to tell the viewers. Okay, the reason why we are here, this is what it is. And here we can see that he spoke in length about how the initiation came about. Taking you back, you said looking at in 2019, now that was the time when everything started. Well, it doesn't start with the name Jama Children Foundation, but it was then called Sadaba Kerama Jawara, Children Foundation. Very good. But we see that there were so many, push and pull, so many things which, haunted, the registration of the name, because he alluded that, before, giving formally a name to a particular thing, he forced me to seek, which is something which, is very, very professional. And it took them time, to consult from the family members here and there, but they've stated that they fight with a name, but things cannot be done, go in the way whereby they want it. So there they started to change the name from Sadaba Kerama Jawara to Jama Children Foundation. And he was like saying that David is in honor of Sadaba Kerama to maintain his legacy. He's somebody who will government to celebrate. So an organization coming in this way, trying to let governments remind and the whole world remind about who is Sadaba Kerama Jawara. I think that is a big plus. But then we see other so many things came into being which the name could not be maintained. But we still believe as time goes on, other youth group in the government will come with an initiative and then using it Sadaba Kerama Jawara, just like we tried initially. Now from there, you also did mention of you have so many things that you do. Part of it you have social norms and values, which is very, very important. Now coming back to my other side, I want to tell us more about that. Yes, what do you think socially, comes with our norms and values, what do you think is lacking that prompted, Jama Children Foundation to make sure that it works together to see that the life and the livelihood of children in the rural areas can change? What do you think are some of those norms and values lacking?
So I think the first one here is going to be discipline.
Okay.
Because usually in the olden days, as we have been told, because we have elders still within our foundation. So sometimes they tell us tales that even when we were not born, we tend to understand and then we pass it through the younger ones from the schools and other forums. So usually discipline is something that they used to acquire from what they see and what they hear and from what they experience. But in the present generation now, the discipline is lacking a lot. Although some are still trying, from the parents to the guardians and everyone, some of them are still trying to maintain discipline within their kids. But we also have other factors that are also bringing problems or lacking in this sense. Because some people now, they have their kids, but also they have other things that they prioritize over their kids. So because of that, it delays the time that they usually spend with their kids, including the social media. Because you see a father will be at home, the daughter will be at home, but they will not even come to the sitting room to sit and chat. And then builds a flat platform where the mother or the father will teach the kids some of these cultural norms and values, including home training. But even in family stages, I have seen them creating a WhatsApp group where everyone is here in the Gambia, but they create a group just to be able to communicate. When the sitting room is there, everyone is inside your room and then mind your own business. It's like somehow, while we try to acquire the Western way of living, it's also diminishing our norms and values. So another thing also is that still in the sense of discipline, people nowadays, we just speak anyhow. In the olden days too, when our elders are talking, sometimes we ask the kids maybe to stay inside, or sometimes they don't even have to say, once you have a visitor or elders are talking, it's like an automatic. You don't really have to activate. The kids naturally get up and then go inside. But nowadays, you either have to force the child to get up or move away from the child. Sometimes they even allow the kids to sit down instead of asking them to get up just to trigger them. And so there are so many things that they say in front of kids. Sometimes they insult in front of kids. And these are things that kids grow up with. Sometimes you hear kids insulting in such a way that you are even surprised as an adult, thinking, where are these people getting this from? But it's from the homes that we come from. Not only from the homes, but from the schools, from the learning environments, from the diaries we send our kids to, and then other groups that need language therapy.
Sure.
So I think it's very important.
Very, very important indeed. Discipline, we all know, is something we know is very, very paramount. And your foundation coming up with that, they are still trying to fight. You know, I think it requires so many muscles from you.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you overcome that. It is very, very important. But what do you think? What do you think is most importantly lacking in trying to make sure that things like this are mitigated? Like, for example, you made mention of that discipline is very, very paramount. Even with the WhatsApp group, when we are all living in the same house, I don't think it is very much important enough to be using WhatsApp when everybody is inside. Why is it that people nowadays are trying to undermine our social norms and values when actually, when actually those values that we are living with, we can address them?
We can address them, yeah.
What do you think is most important?
I think I have a point, because FBI emphasized something very important.
Okay.
You know, people normally, I think the mentality also plays a part.
Okay.
Because the people believe that most of the time we hear this, when people say the world has changed. But to me, the world hasn't changed. No one sees when the world was changed. You know, what changed is people. How people see things, how people communicate, what are some of the things, practice that people do. That, you know, I think there is a lot of things wrong in this. That's what I emphasized even yesterday when I was on a radio program. I said, I think sometimes it's because we believe that the modern world did not tolerate some of these social norms that people believe in. They believe that, you know, civilization is not what our grandfathers normally do.
Okay.
But civilization actually is not that. The thing is, if you see some of these norms that and values that our grandparents were in so much interested in, because it has a huge impact in humans. It shows you something that spiritually that you don't even know. One is she made mention of discipline. So before, even if you don't take a stroke and then, you know, approach somebody's child, still now people believe that what I should put in my child is the same discipline that I should put in others' child.
Yeah.
So there is a discipline that we lack in our society. Everyone believes that their children should not be approached in a way that they don't do it. But the thing is, if I see your child is doing something wrong and I feel that this shouldn't be done, I should interfere.
Definitely.
So there is a discipline. We lack discipline in our society right now due to some mentality, some bad mentality, I could call it. So, and the other thing is honesty. You know, sometimes I wonder how people even define honesty. The thing is, we believe that honesty, you're not doing honesty because you want people to know that you are honest.
Yes.
But you have to know that that's the right thing to do. But now, how many people believe in that? How many people are honest? It's very few. So once you ignore these certain practices, there is going to be a problem. And that's the problem that we face at the moment. So these are some of the things we also believe that something is wrong. And it's us who cause it, not the world. The world hasn't changed. The world still remains the same, and the words remain. But how we behave towards the world, what are some of the things that we see as normal? Even you look at the religions, we all belong to religion. Even our religions, they tolerate all these things, and they tell us this, the importance of being honest, being respectful, you know, being disciplined, being respect to humanity, But now these are some of the things that we lack. I know something is wrong.
So can we say there is a form of social intolerance that is lacking, making all these problems coming from different angles?
Yes.
Today, our children, we see them acting in a way which we start to go from the history. Our forefathers were not like that. This is not the way we grew up. Can we say there is that sense of that social intolerance now compared to yesterday?
Yes, definitely. Because before, all they know is humans know nothing more than tolerance. They believe that everyone is the same. They tolerate each other. Even though they know some of the things that they do was not something they miss, but they were so tolerant. Let me tell you, I think since migration starts,
yes,
people have seen so many things that they didn't know, and also the modern technology. Also, people tend to ignore some of these traditional practices that society were known for. So migration also contributes. People travel. Now you look at, somebody told me that there is a difference between being in Africa and being in Europe. Because when you are in Europe, you look at the weather that God provides for them is, you cannot be outside always. When from work you prefer that inside is better for you because the weather is cold. But that's a different case in Africa. All we knew is we all come together at the Bantaba, we discuss things. Why? Because the weather, the climate that we found, the weather that we find ourselves allows us to do that. So now you see people travel to Europe and come back and want to behave the same here in Africa. They don't allow, even some of them don't even allow their kids to go out, chat with, to play with the other neighbors. So why? Because they believe that they travel and they have seen what is happening. So they didn't know that there is a difference in Europe and in Africa. The weather condition is different. So sometimes that is another thing. Before parents, our grandfathers, they allowed their kids to go, socialize, sit together. But also, you treat the same thing. They give all the same treatment to other kids. I was told that, before when a parent have some goods and let's say these food stuffs, and you giving it to your children, when others neighbors children come, you give the same to them. They go back. But now that's not the case. You have it, you see other kids are coming, you go in, or you wait until your children come back. And so before, in fact, I was also told before, parents will even encourage their children to go and call other children to come. So all was, these are tolerance that our society used to know. But now that's not the case. So I think there are a whole lot of wrongs that we face as a society right now.
Very good. Thank you very much for trying to speak more on that area. Ms. Njai, coming to your area as well. Now we're talking about the disciplinary aspect because we have a whole lot of itineraries here on the paper that we need to discuss about. Now, to the level of the Children Foundation, how much are you trying to tackle these problems?
Well, first of all, we had some encounters at school level where kids have behaved otherwise. So the first step that we usually take is we invite parents to the school and then we discuss with them. Because sometimes parents and teachers do have that kind of conflict. Because whenever we start to discuss issues like that, teachers will always give the blame back to these parents at home, and the parent always in turn will blame the teachers. Sometimes even when school closes, you will hear some of the mothers, most especially, will be complaining that school should open soon so we can be in peace. But it's not also fair on the side of the teachers. So when we have, the first things we have been doing so far is to talk to the teachers. And also, as Haruna mentioned earlier, we have some platforms where we remind the kids about the good and the bad. It's true, some of them are at very low level, but like grade 1, grade 2. But I think these are things that they have to grow up with. sometimes it's difficult when you wait until someone is over a teenage age, then you want to change their mindset when they are already exposed, they are already traumatized. I think the time frame is actually the main reason why it is difficult to overcome the in aspect of discipline. That is why the foundation, we are targeting the kids so that we can grow up with the sense of being matured and disciplined, because there are certain kids, when they talk, you begin to wonder if that if the age they are telling you is actually their age, because of the mind or the way in which they speak, the way in which they seek permission. You can always tell. Even in this society, sometimes you encounter people that exchange words with elders, and these are things that were not happening before. If you should exchange word with somebody that is of your age, someone else can come from anywhere and give you a slap and nothing comes out of it. But now you try to discipline someone else, the parent will now sue you to court, and then other rights will come in. But we know everybody have rights, but there are also responsibilities. So when we open these platforms to kids and tell them how to be disciplined to their elders, we also try to remind them of their responsibilities so that we balance the equation.
Definitely. To my own point of view, looking at how you people just put it, I would think the main reason here, where we can say the problem lies, is at the society level.
Yeah.
That is where everything started. When at the society level, we don't have a proper coaching. When kids grow up, who they are going to meet will easily define their behavior.
Yeah,
so
I think all starts at home.
Yes.
So because we all came from homes, so how you behave in the compound, how your parents treat you, what they inform you about others, it matters a lot. So now that's not the case. Before, even if, like C mentioned, before somebody can come from nowhere and give you a slap and nothing will come out of it, unless if you do it at the wrong, let's say you do it without nothing good, like you're doing it. The kid didn't do anything. Of course, even though before societies used some parents feel the same. You have parents who would not want anyone to touch their kids, but that doesn't mean they don't allow you to discipline them. So now you look at how parents treat their kids at home, how they inform them about others. These are some of the things that will also affects many of them. So even though if you want to inculcate some of these good morals in the minds of children, but sometimes the challenging thing is you inform them, they go back to the house, they are informed in different ways. You cannot allow them. Yes. Everything is disorganized. So some of the things I will always blame parents sometimes for not being responsible. Because a responsible parent will always try to inform their children what is good, how they should behave with others when they are not at home and when they go to school.
When we say parents should be informed, I think we can remodify it, well informed.
They should be well.
The information can be.
Yes.
They should be well informed. They should be well informed. When they are well informed, I think when they inform their kids about how to behave with others when they go.
And this in fact reminds me about a law that we said at the school. The kids will ask you, "Hey teacher, I don't understand this. What is a law?" These are the behaviors that they should be doing at home. We can see in those days when a woman is to give water to the husband, the woman has to go down.
Yes.
Has to go down and pass through the water. While she is still down, the husband has to be, with a cup of water, drinking majestically. Exactly. Until when he is done. Whenever he is done, that's the time he can pass. That will be the time. But now all those things are gone.
Yeah, I
understand. And I believe you get mention of like travel, migration, opportunities. And I believe in civilization. Now we can go out of that. I think if you want to talk about that aspect,
it's like
So now like you made mention of like is an objective. So now looking at it, what are your main objective to make sure that problems like this are harnessed? What do you think are your main objective as a foundation?
Yes, what I told you is our goal is to protect children, but we have objectives. These objectives will help us to protect them. One of them is to offer them mentorship programs. We try to reach schools at the village level, and we give mentorship, basics to children, and also we sensitize parents and others relevant people, authorities. We go to media, we do in-person sensitization, because we believe that sensitization also is very important. We cannot just be mentoring kids when we don't sensitize their parents, we don't inform their parents. So it has to go in both ways. So we also have one other objective is because we realize that you cannot protect the children when they did not understand the environment. Their environment also is very important. So that's why we also add a little objective on that, where we will also try to advocate on environment, where we will educate kids about
what kind of environment are you talking about? What kind of environment do you want to create?
We want to create an environment where kids will live and with safety, an environment where kids will see things that will also help them. We live in an environment, like for example today, when it comes to the weather condition, there is that change. We believe that they also have to adopt that early mind mentality, where we expose them to tree planting during the season. Why we want to do that? Because we believe that when you engage them on tree planting at early age, so they adopt that system. When they grow up, they will also respect the environment, know that trees are also very important.
Indeed.
And we also want to tell them some of the things that are happening within their environment that they shouldn't take part as children.
I think we will come to that. Now,
just
coming back to Miss Njai, now we talk about the children here. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about both the rural and the urban children, or we are primarily talking about the rural kids? If it's one of these, what is your foundation doing towards this, and how is this mentorship coming about? Like you said, meeting the schools. How do you meet them?
Okay, so firstly, we are covering all kids, all and sundry,
so you will not say
regardless of
the rural kids.
No. It's just that in certain instances we have to prioritize where the need arises most. Yes, but it's regardless of ethnicity or religion. Let it just be a kid, regardless of nationality. We are just trying to cover up all kids.
So where is the focus lying more?
Okay, the focus is lying more on where the problem arises, because in the previous months we received a lot of questions regarding what we are doing for kids that are going through hard times, including the heavy wind and the storm that occurred during the rainy season.
Definitely.
So we had a lot of kids. Some of them were injured. Some of their parents were either in hospital settings, or some of them have lost their houses and stuff. So that was when we set up the rural clothing, support rural clothing. Even though some of the people within the urban center also were affected, but after we had statistics, because we had people from Red Cross Society that gave us a list of people that need help, others from the Nyomi area around the Kuntaya, from Jawara also, and different areas. I cannot really recall all. They gave us a list of people that at least if we have something to give out, we might at least help to prioritize them. Yes, so that was how this one of our projects was initiated, the support rural clothing. Even though we use the term rural, it's because most of the benefits are from the rural, but we still covered.
When we say rural kids,
yes, it's because
more of the focus is at the rural areas.
Yes, for now, yes, at least at the greater chance, because when you cross-check what happened earlier, as I explained, according to the statistics, we have more people from the rural side that needed help than those from the cover. Yes, than the urban areas. Even sometimes financially too, it's easier for people around here at some point to easily tackle it, because I can say most people that are around here will have their uncles, so that if anything happens next, they can easily move. But it all depends on how people plan their homes, because it's important. The way people plan their homes here is different from how others plan their homes in the rural area. So we were able to go to certain places, offer them. I think we'll come to that later about the projects that we are working on.
So regarding these children we're talking about here, are you looking at the vulnerable families or the children at large? Because I want you to make it very, very clear to the viewers.
Yeah.
To really understand that, okay, the children we are talking about the children that are vulnerable. You understand? Which, you know, in the society, we think they are marginalized. This is support we are bringing them for them. You understand? When like calamities come, like the mention of like storms and the like, and their families are affected, we believe that their children, they need help.
Yeah, actually, our foundation generally support children, all children.
It does not mean
we go beyond borders.
Okay.
Both internationally, we represent children voices.
Okay.
We attend programs, international programs where we discuss on children issues and we represent them. So I will come to what she was saying about the project, because in 2021 we started a support rural clothing project. So that project only focuses in the rural areas, because we realize that if you go to the rural Gambia, you have many children, and not even only them, but even their parents that lack clothing sometimes, and also maybe financial constraints. Okay. So we believe that if we help them with clothes, the little finance that they would have invested on something else. So the whole of 2021 we focus on that project, where we collect clothes from the urban, we deliver it to the rural communities. And thank God in 2021 we were able to deliver to consignment to Basse. So we also have that partnership with the Gambia Student Association in China, who send package of clothes, and some of the other some of the consignment were donated by people within the Congo. We delivered that one recently at Nordbank. So we believe that because during the rainy season, we have many affected families in Nordbank.
So in this regard here, who are your partners?
We have the recent one. It was Gambia Student Association in China.
Okay.
And also we have the regional coordinator for NBR, Nordbank, from National Disaster Management. They also partner to provide us with pickup. That's what we use and transport the items. So we believe that we are, and our partners also, those that give us the support, we have individual partners that will always give us.
But do you have partners outside the country?
Yeah, we have partners. We have other partners in various, it depends. On climate, we have partners. We also have African Rising. They are our partner, and they have been so supportive. Because at least they lead this every year. Since 2020, we receive support from them. At least not much, but we appreciate it. They send us money to do a celebration, but sometimes we don't want to use the money and invest it on just one day. But we try to rationalize things, and then we use it and then finance some of our projects. So these are few partners that we have. Now we are also affiliated with the United Nations Department of Global Communication. So that is another development that we have.
Well, in the Gambia, we have a lot of children
foundations.
Like in maintenance, like when you go to Nordbank, you have ADWA, Agency for Children and Women's Development, like that. So I don't know whether you must have also spread your tentacles to be able to reach out.
Actually, we haven't started that.
And even the Vice President, you know, and the First Lady.
I mean, okay, we have a first time meeting with the First Lady's Foundation, where we wanted to partner on this support rural clothing. So their CEO told us, okay, we have it depends if we want partnership or if we want support from them, it left to us. So we have a first time meeting, and we are not going to, we will call them and then see if they still want us to partner with them, we will. If they still have something else.
So how was that meeting like? Was it through Zoom?
No. In person. We met and meet them. We have a meeting with the CEO. So after we were also doing some telephone conversation after the meeting. But they saw us the eagerness to partner with us. So, but sometimes also they are also engaged. Maybe we don't want to disturb them.
Yeah.
But we will still.
No, but I think here it's not about like disturb, because this is something big, like you partnering with them is like you are trying to complement their effort.
Yeah, and another one.
It is the same objective. They are there for the children, and they are doing their utmost best to make sure they stand for the welfare of the children. So if they are seeing other foundations coming to seek to have that partnership with them, I think they should not be smart with that.
We were not expecting, but I know everyone knows that they are engaged, but we also want to rush things. But anyway, it is not also delaying us from performing activities that we are supposed to do. Yeah, so.
How about telephone and postcards?
I mean,
we have been going.
I always have. For me, I think definitely they are doing good, but the thing is, their office should be open.
Okay.
Because you go to Child today, you have their secretary who will always disturb you, want to know everything. So the last time I went there to see their secretary, I end up leaving because their security was actually asking me a lot of questions, wanted to know everything. I said, no, we want to meet the secretary. I think the reason why we are here is we have similar objectives. So at this office, we know that they propose to establish for children. So it shouldn't be a difficult thing for us to have access to the secretary. So if having access to the secretary is difficult, how will you describe having
the next level
director or the country rep? Some of these offices need to be open to civil society organizations because we are not competing. We all have seen a problem that we are working and.
But were you also informed about the system of protocols that they also have?
Yes.
Yes. Because not everybody just confirm you just enter. That is why you must be intercepted.
We were actually informed and we do the same thing. But the thing is, if I come, I said, okay, I want to meet your secretary. You tell me, okay. You want to ask me to tell you everything that I need to discuss with. I said, no. The thing is, just tell me, inform me whether we can see him. If not, should we come back again? Or should we write again? Because we have wrote several letters.
Wow.
So I told the guy that, but the guy said instead, no, let me tell him why we want to meet the secretary. I was saying, why do you need to ask everything? No, I respect that. I respect your position and I respect you as
the secretary.
Executing your function. But some of the things you cannot know everything. If you see us requesting for appointment with your secretary, it's because the information that we have maybe is for the secretary.
Most definitely.
If we wrote several times to meet them to introduce the project to them. So, but I don't still blame them. I think for us, our objective is not that. Our objective is we have problems that we need to solve. And if you want to support us still, if you want to collaborate with us, you are also welcome. But that will not also restrict us or stop us from doing what we do.
Okay.
So we believe that. We also have one foundation that wants to partner with us. He always call me, just that I'm sometimes busy. Omar is CCF, Child Future Foundation, something like that in Birkama. So we will try to engage some of them and partner with them because they say, as the local language used to say, Lukena Munbola. So we want to engage them and see.
And also the ex-students of Kuntaya of a basic school. The Jokari Youth Association.
They also
yes, we are actually already in the system.
They really make a lot of
I think we will come to that.
Yeah.
We will come to that again. For those of you joining us right now, it's your youth hour that comes on your way, every 4 p.m. on Vision TV. So here with me, I have my guest from the Jama Children Foundation. It's like we are at the middle of the program, almost to wrap it up. But then we still have some questions that we need to go to really making people understand, because we believe that you are constantly following some of these programs. So it is your children's, talk show today, on Vision TV. So I am your host for the program, LAMIN KUYATEH. So now we continue from where we just stopped, because we all know that children welfare is very, very paramount, and foundation like this coming up with that initiative to say that, okay, this is what we want for our children. For the first time, giving out these rural clothes, or second-hand clothes to the children, how do they feel? Who are your recipients to hand over these clothes to? You can post that.
You can use the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can talk about that because actually you have the information when you can. So you can still give them.
Okay. Yeah, so usually the places are almost similar. Okay, so the first two consignments were delivered in Basse.
Basse?
Yes, and
Where
then
exactly in Basse?
you know they had different locations in Basse.
Basse town itself?
Yes.
Okay.
But there are foundations there that we were able to identify those people that were really in need of it. We don't live in Basse. We are not from Basse, but we always put the children first. So they were the ones living there, so they knew who and who is really in need. So they came together, and then fairly they were able to pick out those that needed the support most. So what we did was we were able to figure everything out, then we took the consignment there. It's the same thing in Kuntaya also. The center point was at Kuntaya at the school, because the school was like a catchment area. Because we had other students from different schools that used to, from different villages that used to come in. So from the school also we met the alcalo, we met the headmaster and some of the teachers and the other VDC members. So we met them. They were also able to, through themselves and the association of the ex-students, they were able to identify those that were in need. So our arrival there was actually very interesting. It was even more than what we were expecting. Yes, because people appreciated it. We just pray that all the prayers that we have made are answered, because if it doesn't enter the foundation, by next year will be in another level. So some of the things that we were thinking of, like what we are really asked always is, how do people feel, or hope people will not feel otherwise you taking some of these things there. Maybe others might feel that maybe you belittle them and stuff. But there was no single way, or there was no person that even showed us a sense of feeling inferior or anything. We went there, we were welcome. It's as if we even know everyone there. There were joking relationships everywhere, and the students welcomed us. Others immediately were calling us teacher, and then we just accepted and followed with it. So they were happy because the things that we took there, we were able to open one of the packages, because they were all packed. You cannot actually see what is through. So they just choose one, and it happened to be the one from China, the one supported. So when they opened, they realized that they are not just things that we were using to mop the floor that are just packed inside the box. They were actually things that even ourselves, like I saw a trouser there and Haruna wanted to take. I'm like, Haruna, it's not yours. They are not just things that are torn. They are things that are still new. Some of them are brand new. Maybe you can buy something, it's not your size, then you just decide to give it out. Because in the combo here, it's difficult to give people out, I can say. Because I can bring along one small and be like, Kuyate, this just be like, if you have when they see come on, this start giving me this. So it's a problem in the combo here. But in the rural area, they don't see it like being senior. It's more of helping each other, because that's what we are here for. I think these are the little things that we can do, because we are not financially strong. We can always knock on doors. Some people, when they saw the flyers, because we were flying, we were sharing it through the social media. Others saw it, and then our contact details were pasted on the flyer. So they made calls and asked about it. What are you guys doing? Just for the purpose of clarity. So we picked so many items from different locations, but it's not like we have a sponsor that will help us in transportation. It's just Harun and me, and thank you to all the other volunteers. It's not just two of us. Sometimes you might be living in LAMIN and they will just contact you. Someone in LAMIN is willing to donate, and then you just go there and pick it up. Someone will say thank you for creating this, because I have a lot of things at home. It's not just food and clothing and like a shirt and a trouser. There were shoes, there were some school items, there were some empty packets of books, belts. So there are some things that we cannot even know what is inside the pack, but we are always assured that they are good items.
So it's like they are already packaged, they are already packed.
Yes,
and then
yes, they are always packed.
It's a matter of you go collect it and then deliver it.
Yes, so they we pack and then we serve. So some of them really say thank you for having this, because they wanted to give out, but they have not seen the doors that they can actually pass through to get some of these things that they don't need at home.
I see. So what do you have to say about the rural people?
Yeah, I think definitely the hospitality and humbleness that that the people of Kontaya have shown to us was really amazing and was welcome. So because we have it, we give it out in the presence of the headmaster, the alcalde representatives, the chief, parents. So happy because that shows what we were doing really value. So and it's even from that day LAMIN, the regional, the
NDMA.
North Bank NDMA coordinator said to us, I was thinking that the items you guys have are just this mere. Oh, now wait, when you guys have other consignment, please, you guys, we will take responsibility of providing all the logistics. So you see, that was a good news, though, because that was the most challenging thing that we have. Even right now, I have seen Abujan from GRTS, Margot and a lady who is in the US. They both told me to go to their residence and pick clothes for the fourth consignment, because they have seen what we have actually done and they have been also supporting. So now, to me, the fourth consignment would be easier, because already there is somebody who is ready to help us with the logistics. That's the most challenging things. What we have done, people are willing to give up. Once you start distributing your flyers, you will be receiving calls and texts, come, I have clothes. And many people want to support. So, but sometimes, as my Oga used to say, they don't see they don't know where to go and give out the support. So, but gradually this project, I know it's a lifetime project. So, even though we cannot continue doing it every month, but we will give intervals, and once we have time, we will try to gather some and then take it again.
Yes, so now I am offering here now coming to the end of the program. But before we go, you will give me some of the challenges and then what is expected next. And from there, then they can have an end to the program. Now you can tell the viewers, what are some of your challenges right now?
Well, just as Haruna said, the first one is the transportation. Because it's really difficult sometimes when you have to pack everything up and then transport it. That is one challenge. And then the second one is people really want to give out, but sometimes the location, for us to locate their addresses is usually a problem. And then we really need a bigger space, like an office that is easy, that has easy access. Because sometimes people want to know our office, people want to come and meet us and discuss, like Vision TV. Yes. So it's difficult for us to have a specific place where we can call Jama Children Foundation office. Anyway, we are still lobbying within the school premises to see if, because we still have other students that we are mentoring, and then if we can have a specific ground where we can perform all these activities. And even right now, we have almost about 50 new volunteers that are willing to work with us, because our applications was out, so they applied. We were able to shortlist 50. We are planning to do an orientation for them, but we don't really have a specific ground yet. It's really challenging, because now we have to go, possibly we are going to do some payments, and then we just have to bring hands together and then we make it possible.
Very good. Like Ganda, we heard from her, these are some of the challenges that the foundation is facing. We have more of it, but then just to make it very, very short and precise, they need the mobility. You can see how they are, I can say, running from one part of the country to another. We have a lot of packages there, but then how they can
storage, package
becomes a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So wherever you are, please let's make sure that we give a supporting hand to our Gambian youths. Gambian youths, definitely they are at a different style. You can see how much committed they are comes to addressing issues in the country, particularly our children. I'm talking about our children here. You understand? So definitely, if we can give them our helping hand, we will see that at the next level, Jamal Children Foundation will be at another level that we today will not be discussing about. And yes, to Mr. Senior Finance, what do you think is next? After the delivery of work, what do you think is next on your pipeline?
Yeah, for me right now we are trying to see how best to engage the government and Minister of Women and Children Affairs, because recently we have seen, even yesterday when I closed from my radio program, while I was coming with Salifu, we saw about 10 kids around Latikunda, opposite Latikunda market, selling at night. So we having many children now on the street selling. So to me, I think both the government authorities, Child Protection Alliance, Minister of Women and Children Affairs, and CSOs and parents have to actually collaborate and then try to reason why this is happening, because we cannot have children below the age walking on the street selling at night. I know poverty is difficult sometimes.
It's like our children are exploited.
Yeah, you can't use your children to go and then find some money for you. That's not their responsibility. Even no matter how challenging things are, but you need to understand, you parent, you should be the one to provide for them. Sometimes I ask myself, where is the government? Are they not seeing this? So really, sometimes it stressed me. Even yesterday, I was on Salif's motorbike. I was very stressful. I said, this is what we were just discussing a few moments ago. So who is there? Where are the laws that guides them? So they need to be implemented. You go to every police station, you have child units. Where are they? Sometimes it takes efforts, it takes sacrifice, actually with no fear, to make sure that all these wrongs are removed. You know, it's sad.
It's very sad indeed. It's very sad when we see our children have been exploited at the street. Children are struggling to bring something home while parents are home. You know, it's very sad. I think we have to be more alert, understand, more alert to see that, okay, children are engaged to do something meaningful. They need to go to school, they need to learn. They will become our future leaders. But if we use our future leaders today to be at the street, to loyal, to be exploited, the future will not be promising at all. So what is your final word that you would say?
Through the programs that we have attended to, the radio programs, one of the things that we are also planning to do, that is still under the support for rural clothing, is to see some of the school centers, including the daras or the boarding schools. So we have been receiving calls that children from the daras really physically, they always have issues in terms of clothing.
Yes.
So we are trying our level best, because even when we went to Kuntaya, during our health education session, we spoke to the parents, because sometimes we have kids and then we send them to the dara, and then we don't even do follow-ups. Sometimes in the hospitals, we will see a kid that is just from the dara, but the kid will be chronically ill. Yeah, so sometimes they are feeling afraid to tell their ustaz that I have this wound here, I was playing and then I fall down, because they are afraid that they might be beaten. Some of them are psychologically traumatized. So they will hold the wound there until it spends weeks, days, until a time that it's really septic and they are feeling difficult to walk. That's the time that they are seeing. Sometimes you see kids that have immobility, disabilities, but it's not like they were born with it. It's because of negligence, and then kids don't have a platform where they can actually say with their mind. I think we will work on that, and then we just tell parents, please don't dump your kids at the daras, be going there time to time. Sometimes you are trying, you pack your food, you pack your clothes items, you send it. Sometimes it doesn't reach your kid. Sometimes your kid will be there, you know, sometimes to be seeing your parents in a learning platform is good, because it encourages the child that I still have my parents. So these are things that we are really working on right now to protect the kids at the dara.
Thank you very much.
See what else goes.
This part with FNJ, the Vice and then the President of Jamal Children Foundation. And finally to the President, what do you have for the government, particularly in the
so all young people, I think sometimes we don't only have to focus on our jobs where we could earn our monthly salaries. Our society have a lot of problems, so identify a few problems that you can gather, you can make up a team and then try to work on that, because other countries are doing it. So we believe that Gambians young youths have so much strength, wisdom, that they could always do show commitment and passion to some of the problems that we face. So please just keep on doing it for humanity, and together we will win. And to parent, government, and to everyone, please let us help each other, and then know that, you know, if you live with somebody, a neighbor who is not strong enough to provide some of the basic needs, support them. Once we start supporting each other, it's going to be fine. But it's really stressful sometimes when you don't have your basic needs. The only way is to start sending your kids to get money. You also be there struggling, so that at the end of the day you will have the 3 basic needs. So that's my final word.
Okay,
support each other.
So this one is just an update.
Yes.
We have received call from Fajikunda Health Center, because there is this outbreak called measles.
Yes.
It's really a skin infection that is affecting mostly children.
Yes.
So the parent at home should also be taking their kids out. If they see any form of rashes, including some discoloration on the eyes and discharges, let them just quickly rush to the nearest health center so that their kid can be cared for.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Haruna Senior, the president of the foundation, and Ms. Fatou F. Jai. On behalf of Vision TV Youth Hour, we are saying a very big thank you. Of course, the program was very, very interesting, and I believe our Ghanaians who are within the country and outside definitely had you all. And of course, the support will come. This is what we expect. You know, whenever we have the youths coming here to tell us, okay, these are some of the things that they have on the pipeline. I think whosoever is working will, of course, be very, very excited and will say, okay, I think I also have a part to play in this. So please be informed that this is Jama Children Foundation. I was your host for the program. Bye-bye.